welcome everybody. This is XCaliber, and I'm here with Spanj. We are currently behind enemy line in an undisclosed location.
How's it going, everyone?
So we're here. We're gonna be doing mid range, mid level attack HVs today, and we've scoured the workshop. We've looked up and down. We've looked from page to page, and I think we found a couple good candidates here. So first we're going to present, this is a mid-level, looks to be an attack tank, and this is called the HV Tank Mark III by Toby T. Now Mr. Toby T, sorry. I'll show you the stats here. So it's an unlock level 20, but you know, most with the HVs, that's only because of the weapons, right? So you could definitely spawn this thing, load it out any way you want. It's got some power. It's got 4 big generators. It's got 4 fuel tanks, that is. It's got a lot of weapons. We've got 3 fixed Gatling guns. We've got 4 minigun turrets. We have another 2 minigun turret retractables, 4 plasma turrets, 1 artillery turret, and 4 rocket turrets. So it's the max loadout that an HV can have under vanilla. So it's at a cost as well. You do have some Arrestrum Circosium cost there at 190 each. 1,200 carbon substrate. So there's a lot of carbon in this. And then you have the 1,000 iron.
Watch out, X-Cal, I got you back.
Oh. Nice. It's a flying Spanj.
Flying Spanj with the debug gun. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah. Alright, so if we take a look around here, I mean, it's pretty tanky. Let's call it what it is. This is a damn tank. Like, this looks pretty beefy for how small it is.
Although I do respect how many docking pads he's attached to the bottom of this. I mean, this thing's gonna get docked. There's no.
Yeah, no, it's happening. Yeah, it's happening. I don't care if you're halfway off that thing; it's getting docked.
It's getting docked.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think the shaping's good. I think everything comes together nicely. Everything fits. It's a nice straightforward build, to be honest. I mean, it looks like a damn tank. It's got armor where it counts. You've got the it seems to it has the harvest ability. I don't think you'd be necessarily farming fuel for this thing with this. I think this is more to clear the runway as you come in guns blazing. The placement of the turrets makes good sense. You got the minigun turrets in the front, so those would be the first to go. You got them on the sides as well, and then behind that you've got the plasma turrets. One of them's elevated inwards so that they're not conflicting with each other. And you got the artillery up on top in the middle, so I think you'd get a good, mostly like aerial assaults, you'd be able to take care of anything. Side strafing, you've got the rockets on the sides and the rear to help cover you from the side. So it really all depends on how you set your turrets, though, right? Like you got to set them to specific things. Set the artillery to the fixed weapons and stuff like that, and it'd be able to do its job nicely, I think. So
I do like how he's managed to cram so many turrets onto actually a reasonably small tank.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's good placement. I think it's good. We got plenty of coverage on the sides.
Serious incoming.
Yeah, we did. All right, so you look underneath here. There's a lot of hover boosters here. I don't personally use hover boosters since they were glitched at one point. I think they probably fixed it, but I just kind of stopped using that. But if I'm not mistaken, isn't anything over 2 kind of redundant?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I think it's more to do with the hover vessel's weight than the number. I mean, once you get to a certain weight on your hover vessel, they become utterly useless. Right. But I've got a ton of them crammed on my Hydra tank, and I can make that thing jump. So I don't think they're entirely redundant. I think it's just all about there is a terminal velocity, a kind of point where they just can't lift anything. But I'm not sure the few that he's got here will actually be able to lift this. I suppose there's one way to find out.
There is. Yeah, we will try that out. First, let's take a quick look inside here. So if you go inside here, he's got 2 sets of doors for some extra armor there. So that's about, what, 200 hit points altogether?
Yeah.
I tend to prefer the shutter doors, especially in something battled. Just, you know, and then it also prevents people from just shooting the doors out. They actually have to use an explosive device. So this is updated for 9.0. This has, you know, this has the cargo controllers. For this one's for Woodnor. It's just the 250 here. This would be for the ammo. So we have this thing way overstuffed with ammo. So I just threw a bunch of ammo in this thing. I didn't look at the capacity. So yeah, we're gonna take a bunch of this out here.
Love the little steps that he's made up to the cockpit. That's cute. I like it.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Alright, so it looks like we have a redundant ammo on this side for balance, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some in here as well. Alright, so we're max cargoed out, but yeah, I mean, you got a clone chamber, you got the medic bay, you've got, you know, you've got some limited storage with the boxes, so it's definitely a focused build. It's not, you know, this isn't an all-in-one kind of build. This has a specific task, and to me, that's hitting POIs, and then a lot of the little merch stuff that you get in the boxes could definitely fit into these little individual cargo boxes. The ride home might be a little awkward with the balance all to the right side. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think it would easily do its job. So,
I mean, each of these crates has only got 250 volume. You know, well, he's got obviously the ammo. He's opted for extensions. That seems to, if you glitch through to the cockpit there, that seems to extend forward as far as the extensions are concerned. You know, and he's got the typical sort of core under the cockpit and, you know, fuel tanks and generators under there as well. I am concerned about how far forward that cockpit is. On a head-on, I would probably tank this thing from the side if I was hitting a POI. Yeah. I think it's got good broadside potential. But frontal assault, I think, that's a bit shady with the armor and the layout of things, in my opinion. But like you say, it's a mid-level. Although I think it's unlocked level 20, did you say? Because of the artillery.
20, because of the artillery, yeah. So
the artillery, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look under the cockpit, I mean, there's definitely, you know, you got a couple blocks protecting from that generator, but once that generator goes, that's gonna chain react and hit the core and everything. So it's all kind of connected there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you side tank with this thing rather than frontal assault, that would be best. That would give you the most longevity. You'd lose thrusters.
Agreed.
But you would be able to take a few hits on the side. And to be honest, with this much firepower, I don't think many POIs will be able to hold up. Shut up. To it too much. Sorry. I had to shoot the tube transport. There's a goddamn cannon turrets going off on one. But yeah, like you said, it's boxy, it's functional, it's a tank. What do you want?
There you go. Yeah, I think that's it. It's a tank. I think it's earned its name.
That looked like a jump.
Yeah.
Is that a jump? There you go. It was only a little one, but you know, it jumped.
Yeah, I mean, it's got some good side thrust. It's got some good response.
Yeah.
I mean, this is with ammo.
Quite nicely.
Ammo completely. You know, and the RCS is okay. The RCS isn't bad at all. It moves like a tank, but it's not unresponsive, right? I mean, you're definitely using your mouse pad, but yeah, it's really not bad. It's a good. Yeah, it's a good all-around little fighter.
It seems perfectly happy at taking out the wildlife, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, turret's free to fire. No restrictions there by the looks of it.
Nope.
All right, so what I've brought to the table today is the NSI Pilgrim by Anna Noam. As always, guys, we'll link to all the builds that we feature down below in the video description. But this is a mid-level hover tank. It unlocks at level 15 rather than 20, so I think it deserves the name mid-level a little bit better. But it's sporting miniguns, missile launchers, and plasma cannons at the back. And yeah, it's very orange, as you can see. Actually, quite like it. There's some good attention to detail on this whole thing, but let's have a quick look at the stats. All right. Goddamn drones, seriously. So, yeah, unlocks level 15, size class 3, and we're about 3,000 iron and about 3,000 carbon substrate are the two highest. But you'll notice there's no requirement for... Sorry, there is a requirement for a Restrum Zirconium as well, but not too much. 132. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Only 56 cobalt, which is nice, and 40 neodymium. We've got 14 generators in this thing.
Wow.
Yeah, which is an output of 25.2 KPU and a consumption of 835. So we have some generating redundancy on there, but overall, I actually quite like the appearance of this thing. I may change the color.
Yeah, it's almost like a... It just looks like a bug. It looks like some crazy orange mantis or something. It's interesting.
It is. It's
the little
definitely
spiky things on the side and everything. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I like little spiky details around the engine things. Not so sure about the sort of rings that they've got in the middle of the engine housing there, but you know, it's something. It's pretty. That's a lot of side thrust. Is that just me, or is that a lot of side thrust?
Yeah, it's a good amount. I think
that's a lot of side thrust, isn't it?
It's a good amount of thrust everywhere. Really, yeah. It seems pretty evenly distributed.
It's this. Well, you got the same side thrust there as you have forwards. I think.
I'd say more even.
Only half back. But yeah.
Oh, yeah
what does it say on the stats page? 15 forward, 12 back, 11 left and right. So that's not bad. Not bad for a hover vessel this size. But yeah, I really like the. I really like some of the details. She's obviously gone with some of the deco blocks. There's variety in the texturing going on. She's used the retractable turrets so that they'll disappear too as well. They've got some protection around the thrusters on the front as well, which is always good. And the Gatling cannons are at the very front. First turret is a Gatling turret, which is correct, but then immediately after is a rocket, which isn't so great, but that rocket turret does have an excellent field of fire. You've got 4 harvesters on the front for chopping down trees and stuff, which is great. And yeah, overall, I just actually quite like the shape of this thing. It looks like a pretty... do you know what? It looks like something out of Star Wars, you know? It's like something that the Trade Federation would be rolling out of one of their dropships.
Right. Yeah, definitely. With the 4 harvesters in that position, with kind of the 45-degree claw, it's utility-wise, it's definitely very smart. That'll instantly take the trees down.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good harvesting capacity. I just have a little glitch inside, and it's very dense at the back in terms of thrusters and things like that. There's not much room to allow for chain reactions, but overall I think the placement is reasonably good. You've got a lot more thrusters buried underneath, but I quite like the fact that they're not completely buried. They do have ventilators and stuff, but yeah, you see what I mean?
There's a lot going on down here.
It's very dense, isn't it?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. But overall, actually, I don't think the layout is too bad at all. You've got generators and fuel tanks are scattered out quite nicely, as RCSs are also scattered out quite nicely. There are some fuel tanks up front, which is odd, but Not the end of the world. And there's an absolute ton of RCSs and thrusters up the front as well.
Yeah.
Should we have a look inside?
We shall. If I could get... Okay, there we go. So I do like, right off the bat, I like that there was the door, which, you know, let's be honest, it looks a lot better. But then it's backed up by the shutter door for that added personnel protection. So.
Yep. Again, I like the variety of texture and use here. She's even gone to the trouble. I assume it's a she with a name Anne. She's gone to the trouble of putting glass on the roof there just to give it a little bit of variety. Color scheme's not too bad. You know, colors is one of those things. It's very personal. It is also very easy to change. So you shouldn't necessarily be put off by a build just by what color it is, because it's so easy. Bring it into creative mode and use the replace function on the color tool to just change it to whatever color you want. But I don't mind the choices that she's gone with here. It's blue. I like a blue light inside a cabin. I think it gives us a sort of cool military kind of look, you know.
Right.
We've got med stations O2, we've got armor lockers, we've got clone chambers. Constructors is Alpha 9 because we've got container extensions here. This particular one that's next to the constructors got 7,250 storage units capacity on the right and 4,125 storage units on the left. Across the way, 13,625 storage units over here. Now that does ring alarm bells, if I'm honest. If you fill that up, this thing's gonna stick to the ground and not move.
Right.
You got fridges, and you got ammo container here with 2,250 on both sides. Yep, and XCal's filled one of them up very nicely. Further forward, more cargo boxes, but also some great LCD screen work going on up here. We've got a nice, very detailed LCD screens going on.
Very much.
Obviously combined with passenger seats to give it operators positions. And here we've got a switch which seems to open the top hatch, which is a nice drone escape, I assume, or just general escape hatch. There you go. I'll lock you in now. that is a double shutter door as well. There are two shutter doors there.
Nice.
Orange one on top, black one on the bottom. So that's double protection. And at the front here, you got another storage container, which is another 14,000 storage units of capacity, and then of course the cockpit itself.
It's gonna be a long ride home.
Yes. It's a lot of storage capacity in this, and I don't think it would really... You couldn't completely use it, I don't think, because using that much volume coupled with the weight...
Yeah.
You know, you put combat steel in that, or whatever, even XL thrusters or whatever you loot from your alien helix these days. This thing will stick to the floor like glue, and you won't be able to move it.
Yeah,
I know, I've tried. So, do you want to give it a spin, XCal, and see how she handles? Whew. And he's off. Wow.
Yeah. It moves.
Yeah, I can see. Deal with those drones while you're out there, will you? Nice. Turrets don't seem to have any problems taking out drones. Damn.
I'd honestly say this moves as good as the other one. Like this moves really well for how big it is. I mean, of course the cargo's empty, right? But
yeah,
you know, I mean, it's got a lot of components on it. It's got a lot going on, and this moves really well. I mean, it moves heavy, but it definitely moves.
It actually looks pretty good moving as well. Gotta say, the way you're flinging it around and things like that, it looks good. It looks good. The thruster effects and the way they come out of the ports and stuff. Yeah, it's nice. There we go. That is the NSI Pilgrim HV by Anne Moem. So, and the HV Tank Mark III. Do we want to throw them up against the POI and see what happens?
I think that sounds like a plan.
All right. All right. So just ahead of us is the Zenu refueling base. This is actually a custom POI built by our good friend Static, who hates everyone and builds POIs just to kill them and laugh at them while they do. So this will be a good test for these tanks. We're actually going to come in on the friendliest side of this POI, so this might be okay. Let's see what happens, shall we?
Let's do it.
What up, POIs? Come back! Gotta use my strafing. Gotta keep strafing. It would be nice if my turrets actually did something, though. They don't seem to be doing anything right now. They seem to be frozen in fear. Oh no, they've woken up. Flash to bang. Again, I'm finding that the most useful part of this tank is the Gatling cannons that I can control, because my turrets, and this is no failing of the tank, this is the failing of the turret AI, but my turrets are just useless. They just seem to be hell-bent on shooting the ground or shooting the wall of the POI rather than turrets that are shooting it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of side strafing like we were talking about. Not frontal, but it seems to be okay, but it's definitely pausing at points.
Yeah, see, now the turrets seem perfectly happy just to sort of, I don't know what they're shooting. I think, if I remember correctly, there are some turrets on the inside of this base. That's probably what they're shooting. We've got some Zirax on the ground in front of us. So maybe my turrets will switch fire, which they do. And they've got, yeah. There we go. There we go. I'd say that's one defanged POI. Sure. So the good news is that the cockpit on mine didn't take any damage in that, which is actually surprising because I'm pretty sure I took a couple of hits on the nose, but it doesn't seem to have been the cockpit. However, I have lost all of my harvesters off the front. That's pretty normal, to be honest. Those harvesters are always the first thing to go. They got absolutely no hit points.
Yeah, I took a couple hits on the old cockpit, but nothing bad. It doesn't look like I took a whole lot of damage, period.
Yeah, you lost your harvesters as well.
Well, yeah. And honestly, like, you know what I found is, like, that's what they're really good for. Like, let's be real. Those things soak up some hits, man. I love it. Not bad. I'll make those all day. I don't care.
Yeah. They're cheap. There we go. Yeah, one pretty well-armed POI dealt with fairly swiftly between the two of them, so... And, yeah. No internal explosions recorded. Everything seems to be intact. Like I said, lost the harvesters. Bit of damage behind. But that POI stood no chance, really.
No. All right, guys. So yeah, that's it. This is the NSI Pilgrim, and this is the HV Tank Mark III. Both have been tested by us thoroughly in combat in the Shattered Realm server. Both of them survived with flying colors. They both move really well. Both have a lot of defense, and nice cargo, nice layout. They've all got all the equipment needed for a hover vessel, medical bays, clone chambers, and all that good stuff. So some great choices in your mid-level gameplay. So that's going to be it for the workshop this week. Next week, we are going to be looking at starter bases up to level 10. So, we're going to be looking for the most functional, most, well-rounded starter base that gives you kind of everything you need in this new Alpha 9 climate. So, yeah, until next week, I'm XCaliber, and that's Spanj.
Hey.
Catch you on the next one.
See you later, guys. Have a good one.
Oh, it'd probably help if I, push the talk so you could hear what I'm talking about, too, right? Yeah, let's do it.
It would, yeah. I didn't know.
Yeah. All right. Let's try this again.
He would be able to take a few hits on the side, and to be honest, with this much firepower, I don't think many POIs will be able to hold up. Shut up. To it too much. Sorry. And to shoot the tube transport. There's goddamn cannon turrets going off on one. No, god damn it. Seriously. Half a mind to go and destroy that drone base. Oh. Now what? Oh my god. Right. You ready?
Yep.
Alright, so what I've brought to the table today is the NSI Pilgrim by Anna. Hang on. God damn. Let me start that again, sorry.
That'll instantly take the trees down.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, here's a test.
Yeah.
Here's a test. Oh, buddy.
It's only a lava lake, it's fine.
We could do bases. That's another thing we could do. We could do like a mid-level base or something.
You won't push to talk again, are you?
Ah, fuck me, yeah. Yeah, no, I was saying we could do we could do CVs, we could do bases. So we're gonna see
Push
if we
talk.
Oh, yeah.
Early night time when I don't hear you for a while, I'm like, I was probably just thinking or something.
I'm so used to, all right. Yeah, great.
Brilliant.
All right, guys. So yeah, that's it. This is the NSI Pilgrim, and this is the HV Tank Mark III.
L is for lights now. Remember they remapped it to the lights. What are you trying to do? Jump.
Turn on my night vision. Turn on my night vision.
Oh, you have to have your helmet on. Then it's L. Bro, do you even Empyrion?
Right? Do I even Empyrion? Jesus. All right. Oh man.